here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Give me my little boy. Hello. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay. Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to the show. What is happening? Welcome on in. Manny here from the Guitar Show. It is Tuesday here in Sydney, and it's a beautiful fine day and a good day to be in the shop. Terry's here. Willie's here. B. Bumstead, Marky Mark is here. Tom is here. Doing the roll call as usual, guys and girls. We've got to do some more work on this guy today. There's the seal yesterday, the first wash coat. That's sealed up nicely. It's dried up a lot. It's drunk a lot of that up, which is expected. We're going to do some more work on that. I did apply some filler and some sealer around the joint. We need to sand that and get ready for the final coats. We also need to dress these frets. I haven't actually dressed these frets properly, so I've got to do those. They've been trimmed down and they're pretty level, but I want to get this neck nice and straight before I finish the body. Get that fret work done, and then clean it up and get the top coats on. So we're going to work on that. Now that is that camphor laurel. Now yesterday Terry mentioned the cake, and I did go out and find the cake, and I want to get it ready for the market. So we're going to get this girl ready for market. She's almost ready now. I've adjusted the action, and she's good to go. There's another example of camphor laurel with some oil on it, satin finish. That's a solid block of camphor laurel, and that's got some Cruel Mistress pickups in it. We're going to plug this guy in and just have a little play later on and just give it a sound check. It's got a red cedar neck. It's got a spotted gum fretboard, and it's got the camphor laurel one-piece body. One piece. It's got a bunya pine cap. You can actually see I'll bring that down onto the other camera. You'll get a good look at that. The cake guitar is very it's got some beautiful characteristics. You can see that girl there. The sheen is nice. We've got a nice satin finish on that girl all the way around. And the back, you can see the bunya pine there. It's got some beautiful grain, contrasting grain. And we left that matte finish just to contrast with the body. We want to get this ready for the market, so it needs a little bit of a clean up, a light scuff, maybe one more little coat, just to get it ready. We need to adjust. Well, the action's been adjusted. It's pretty good. It sounds great. I'm going to play that a little bit later for you, just to show you the action there. It's relatively low. It's not too bad. It's pretty good, and it plays reasonably well. She resonates really well. So we're going to give that a little whirl. Is that telly for sale? Yes, it is, my friend. That is for sale. If you are interested, let me know and I will discuss further with you. That is for sale. It's going to go for sale and I'm happy to sell it to anyone on the stream. And I think you'll find for the cost of this quality material and pickups, you're not going to find a telly that plays as good as this for half the price, or for double the price, I should say. This would be very, very well placed. The neck is a flat D. It's not quite rounded, but it's very flat. As you can see, it's very flat. It's a little bit of a shredder. Got a little bit of meat on it, not too much, but it is a beautiful piece. You can play nice rhythm in there. We're going to play it clean. We're going to play it with a little bit of gain, get some rock sounds out of it too. It's pretty versatile. Okay, let's put that away. Let's get our blue guy and see where we're up to with the blue guy, because we're almost at the point where we can wipe on that first coat of wipe on poly and then brush that in, let it sit for 3 or 4 minutes. I'll tell you how I do it. And then I wipe it off and let that sort of penetrate the pores and get in there. Let's go and grab that piece and we'll get stuck into it and have a look at that color. This now has 3 coats on it and I'm very, very reluctant to put a 4th on it. There's the 3 coats. Okay, very bright under that light. As you can see, it makes me look pretty pale. It's very bright white light, but that blue is really, really beautiful. I'll show you on the bench where there's a little bit more diffusion from that light. Okay, there's that blue. I don't know if we need another coat. I might give it one light coat and maybe burst the edges. What do you guys think? Should we have a poll and see if we need a very subtle burst or just leave it one tone? I like it one tone. I think the burst might detract from Seamus over here. So yeah, thanks Mario. Yes, the blue is nice. It's come out a beautiful sapphire blue. No, I don't think it needs any more color too. Willie, are you happy with that? Because this guy here is going to get a coat of clear, and so I'm going to leave it like that. I don't know if we're going to go a burst or not. Yeah, I think it would too, Tom. I agree with you 100%. I think I'm going to leave it as a plain guitar. What would really look cool on this if it was a traditional telly, and I don't want to take away from this beautiful quilt pattern here. If this guy was just a plain piece of ash, I would probably get a beautiful tortoise shell pickguard on there in a black or a silvery color. It would look smicko, especially with the chrome hardware, but we're not going to put any cover on there, any pickguard on there. We're going to leave that open and show that beautiful grain. So I'm going to, a dark outline. I think, Mario, we've hit the edges really dark. I might just give them a nice, that round over, give that one more coat. You're right, I might give that one more coat, but what I want to do first is I want to just roughly, this is a bit rough now, the grain is raised a little bit. I need to get that a little bit flatter to apply that first coat and wipe that coat of poly off. So the way to do that is not to use sandpaper in the initial phase to knock that grain down. What we use is a little bit of just brown paper, like a brown paper bag. Let me grab some paper. I have got a scrunched up piece of brown paper card, very, very, not too thin, pretty stiff, but very malleable. What we do is we basically just crunch that up, get a little bit of corrugation on there, fold it over, and very lightly give that a little scuff. That'll keep the color on there without really digging any of that off, but it should knock off the high spots of that grain, the little furry bits. Eyeliner like on a guitar. Mario, that's very emo of you, and I like it. Seamus and Stan really say. So if I hit that very lightly, and I feel it, it's a lot smoother. It just knocks off that little bit of hair, a little bit of hair that stands on end when that grain raises just a little bit. Very gently. Just give it a little swirl, very gently. I'm barely touching the surface, but it does knock that off. And of course, what we're going to do is put a coat of poly on there and then let that sit for about 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Once it starts getting tacky, we wipe it right off, the excess, and let the rest sit in there and cure for about 3 hours before we put another thin coat on. A denim finish would be good. Yeah, I've done a denim finish with real denim. Mario, if you haven't seen that one. Now I'm hoping that the poly holds. This has dried up nicely. It's been 24 hours since the last coat. I hope the poly doesn't strip anything off here, so I don't think it will, but I think we're going to give it a go. But before we do that, what I might do is, no, I won't do that now. What I'll do is give it a coat of poly, just the top, and then we'll take the tape off after we wipe that. So a coat of poly, evenly applied, nice and thin, but evenly. Let it sit and let it settle for 4 minutes to 5 minutes. We're going to put a timer on. We're then going to wipe that off and let it cure for a couple of hours, dry to touch dry, and then we can apply a second coat this afternoon off stream and let that, a thin coat, and let that start to cure overnight and get another couple of coats on tomorrow. Okay, that's nice and feels nice and smooth. Let me grab my poly and see what happens. Now I've tested this. I've tested the poly on another piece of scrap. If I can find that scrap, I might just have another look at it. Let me just grab that. Here it is. I deliberately had some stains, thick stains there. That's got one little thin coat. You can see there's a bit of a sheen to it. Okay, they did not run, and I did not lose any colour off there. I had some blotches that I used to just dab with the cloth, and they sort of held, so I'm hoping this holds firm. I might, Terry, I might, but that's okay because I'm not going to lacquer those guys. I'll have to seal them up with something. I might do that, but first things first, I want to see what happens with the paint, with the poly, because I might need to sand it all back and start again, depending if the poly reacts with this stain. It shouldn't. I hope it doesn't. We'll find out in a minute. Karen Day. Karen Day, let me show you something. Karen, what is your favourite thing to eat ever? Type it in the text, in the thing. Cake. Remember this guy? Look at that little guy. We're gonna give that little sound check later on. It reminded me yesterday because that's camphor laurel, the same as the base cap, and I thought I would grab this guy out because I'm getting it ready to put on the market. There she is again. Nice mocha neck, nice tiramisu, one-piece slab of cake, nice licorice components. It's all good. Yeah, so this one I'm just going to get ready to put on the market and She's playing really well already. Might need a little bit of refining. There's a couple little dry spots that have just dried out, and I just want to just give them a light little feather and just blend a little bit of oil in there and just touch those edges up a little bit. But otherwise, she looks pretty good and ready to go. Yep, get that cake out for delivery. Ha! Okay, I'm going to grab the Minwax, guys and girls. I'm going to put my fancy apron on, my lacy number, as I call it. One of your favourites. Terry, you love all the natural woods. I noticed that about you. You love those beautiful natural elements that just magically, you know, the universe created without anyone's input. It just did its thing, you know what I mean? I love those too. What's going on, Miss Day? Are you well? Okay, I've got my lacy number on. I'm feeling all ready to go. Ready to go. So here's our base. We're going to work on this guy a little later on. That's the first wash coat on there. So Karen, there it is. We've got a little bit of oil on there. It's lightened up a bit. It's drunk a lot of that up. But we've got to get this guy sanded now and finish coated so that when the hardware arrives, we can put it together. Leave that guy there. Actually, I'll move that out of the way. Let me put that in a safe spot. Okay, let's grab our Polly. Polly want a waffle, Polly waffle, Polly want a cracker. Polly waffle, Polly want a cracker. There it is there. Feast and Watson, wipe on Polly. And we'll give that a go. We'll give that a go. I'm going to test it just on the edges. I'm just going to test it up here so I don't ruin the whole job if it doesn't hold. Let me get to the bench. Let's get some gloves on here. Let's mix this guy up. Give that a shake and a stir. Huh. That ain't no bacon, that's premium cake. Exactly. I want to see your little box of clamps too, Karen Day. What's going on there? Are you hiding clamps? We need to name them. Terry would name them. She dead set would. Dead set she would. Right. Just prepping here, guys and girls. I'm a little bit of a slack ass today. But that's okay. I'm allowed to be a slack butt. Rightio. I'm going to grab a rag. I'm going to try a little bit on this corner up here. I want to stay away from these guys. I'll just try a little bit up here and see what that does to the colour. I generally just pour it straight onto the rag. I'll grab some gloves. I don't know how locked in that colour is, so we'll see. I mean, worst case scenario is we sand it back a little bit and we reapply colour and we go with another finish. We like a good slacker. Ha! Show it next time. Yes. Okay, let's give this a go. I need a piece. And then I need another piece to wipe it off after 4 minutes of applying it. So let me apply it first. There's a certain way I like to do it. I like to rip the cloth squares and wrap them in a little tube, like so. In half again. and then a little fold over tube like that. And I like to sort of wipe and use that as a blade and just push that around to the grain. I'm going to give that a red hot go right now. Just going to put it on here and try it very lightly first. That looks good. No color off there yet. That's good. It looks like it's locked in. Across the grain. A little bit of color, not much. I'm going to pour it straight onto there and wipe it in. And then we're going to wipe the excess off. Go across the grain, get it drinking in there. Nice and gently, just feather it, let it fall in. Okay, last bit. I'm going to start a timer right now, guys and girls. Make sure that's even. Leave the edges for now. I just want to make sure I can get this to lock in that color. That looks magnificent. Look at that. What do you think of that, guys? Let me throw that piece away. And I'm going to start counting 4 minutes from now. It is 11:35. Let's get to 11:39. We wipe that off and hope the color stays. It should be okay. It looks like it's locked in. It is thirsty. It is thirsty, Texas. Absolutely, it's thirsty as heck. That first coat is very thirsty, but it's really accentuated that beautiful quilt. It's going to be beautiful, I think, when that guy finishes up. It's going to be a stunning emerald color. Yeah, it's pretty, Terry. It is pretty. Yep, absolutely. So let's give that a go. In 4 minutes, we're going to wipe that off. Let me quickly flick over to the screen. We'll talk about something else. So we got that guy going. What the objective here is, and it's really, really drinking it up in the middle here. If I show you the middle section, you'll see it's drying out a little bit. Let me shine some light. See how it's drying out? It's really drinking it up. And that's okay. That's okay. Because what we need to do is get those pores, get that. We're going to wipe the other stuff off in a minute, but we need to get that guy in those pores and get a lock the color in. Once the color's locked in to those pores, as we go with the next coat, we'll then let that cure and lightly scuff that, because we need a mechanical connection, a mechanical bond. We need some scratching there to make the two layers lock to each other as we build up the layers. Yeah, the dark strip is nice because you've got that concentrated cross grain, that quilt, Mario. You can see that it's going to be really dark down the middle. You've got that quilt breaking up. So that's going to pop like crazy once we get some clear on there. What have we got for time? 2:36, sorry, 11:36, 37. That's 2 minutes gone, guys. 2 more minutes, and then I've got to wipe that off. I'm just watching that. It's starting to go all tacky, which is good. It's bubbling up. Now, what we do is the next coat we will put in, we will actually wipe it in with a piece of 1200 grit. Instead of using a rag to wipe it in, we're going to use a little bit of 1200 grit, and there's a reason for that. We want to basically, now I know the color's the issue here, because on a raw piece of wood, you can use a high grit 1500 or 1200 piece to get that coat in, because that slurry that you get by knocking the fret dust back in there helps to seal the wood. But it probably isn't a great idea with the color, so I'm going to leave it and just do it the traditional way of wiping on, wiping off, and keeping it as thin as possible, but as even as possible as we build up the layers. Oh, excellent stuff, Dana. You're doing great. That's good that you got that. Yeah, Tom, blackbud is a very, very porous wood like rosewood. It's got really, really high concentration of open pores. And when you've got a quilt and you've got that folded grain, that cross grain, it's even more open. All those capillaries are just sitting there looking at you. It's going to drink like crazy. But that's why we build the layers up. We build the layers up. Eventually we'll get a glassy finish. It's going to look schmicko, as they say. So we get the color done. Now I don't need to keep putting layers on here while we've got the tape on. We're going to need to put a coat or two, and before we get build up on the edges, we're going to take the tape off and lacquer the whole guitar, and do it in this way. Top and sides together, let them sit. Next day, or next session I should say, the back, let that sit. Then the next day when we do our second and third coats, or third and fourth coats, we go top and sides again. Never do both sides together. It's just too much, and you probably need to rest it at some point on a flat surface. I know they hang them up, and I can once I wipe that off, but I like to also let them sit and cure a little bit on a flat surface. And that way, if any dust settles on them, you can hit that later on, but you can hang them up. I haven't got the rod on there. I will put a handle on there to turn that guy. And that's almost there. What do we got for time? 2:30, 11:39. Okay, we're good to go. We're going to wipe that off. Clean rag. Let's see what we do. Clean rag. Let's wipe that excess off. And very lightly again. Bit of color coming off, not too much. Very, very light. Make sure I don't leave any streaks. Get that pretty much looking wet, but looking damp, not like a road after a rain when it starts to dry up and you can see it's still dark and water's been there, but you don't see any puddles. So that's pretty perfect. It's like a satin sheen. That middle's going to drink a lot more. So that's going to be ready in about 2 hours for another coat. I'll show you that on the other. Hopefully that'll lock some of the colour in. We don't lose too much more. We've lost a little bit there. You can see a little bit of blues come off, but that's pretty good. Okay, let me hold this guy up and show you guys on the other camera. All right, there she is. So as you can see, it's already got that beautiful, even satin. And this is a high gloss, so we're going to build that. Look at that strip in the middle, how it's drunk all that, and it's as dry as a bone. Now, this is the beauty of using poly to fill that in. Once we get that guy a couple of coats, it'll stop drinking. Once we clog up those pores, it'll stop drinking. But that's a pretty nice sheen to it already, and that color's magnificent. That grain's really come up really well. Okay. I will touch up the insides of those F-holes when that dries. We can put this guy away now. I'm going to start working on the base. So let me pull this guy away. Throw those gloves out. Contaminants. I'll put this out in a ventilated area. It's not too smelly at all, so it's pretty good. It's better than spraying. can't smell anything actually. It's very, very good. I'll just close up that, oh yeah, we've closed up that window. So what I'll do now is I'll grab the base, we'll keep working on that guy. Your drool is embarrassing. Lucky you can't see it. Karen, there's nothing better than a good drool. Hilarious. Drooling is fun, in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know. Let me grab that base. Drool on a coffin will make it worth at least 3 times more valuable. There's some really open pores on this guy. And what I did was I oiled this guy. I'm going to give that a light scuff. I'm going to grab some 600. I'm going to give it a light rub. And we're going to put some Danish oil on this guy. I want to also, I've got to really start hitting. The edges are pretty good. I've got to get 240 on those guys. Still a little bit of work to do on the neck's a lot better. But before I do that, I might just hit it with a harder courses and get this this guy sorted out here. So what I might do is grab some 240, which I've got right here. And I need to fix this guy at the back. So I've got some sealer on here, on these joint-like lines. Making sure we've got nice and even, glassy smooth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit, once I get the edges done, I'm going to hit the edges in the back with a coat of oil as well. I won't do the top. I need to get the back sealed up. But I want to get that colour to pop as well. And there's a few scratches on the back I've got to sort out as well. The roundover's turned out really good. That roundover's really, really cool. It's nice and even. Whew. Jerry in the house. What is going on? Where is he? Jerry's here. Been taking care of a sickly wife. She gets better week by week. Oh, Jerry, I hope everything's well. Prayers for you, my friend. How are you, buddy? I hope everything's well with you, mate. Thank you for dropping in. Good to see you. Look, I'm making a base, a neck through. Maple, Paduke. Bacon wood, camphor laurel cap, chambered. Precision pickups, jazz pickup, black hardware, oiled finish, and I'm just working on getting some sealer or a first coat on this guy here, and there she is. You like that? Stunner. It's a stunner. She's a stunner, mate. She's an absolute dead ringer. Stunner. Dead ringer for a stunner. I'm looking handsome. Thank you very much, Jerry. Coming from the guy with the best hair I've ever seen, I'll take that as a compliment. Very good. Let's get back to sanding. Ha! Now, I'm not going to see every scratch on this guy, but what I normally do is get it to 250 and then give it a coat of oil, and that will seep in, drink it up, seal up some things, and show up some scratches and scuffs, and we can fix that up. Yeah, we've been good, mate. We've been good. I'm hoping that you guys are okay as well. So take care of that missus of yours, and give her, Lady Glockenspiel, give her our best, warmest regards, please, and tell her we're praying for her. And hope she feels better soon, mate. Okay, now I've got a bucket, as the technical term, a bucket load of work to do in here. Not too much, but just enough to keep me frustrated. I've just got some major shaping scratches that I need to get out. And they're coming out, which is great. They're almost gone. In actual fact, that side's pretty much done. That's good. The other side's a nightmare, this guy in here. So I need to grab my 80 grit, something a little bit coarser. This little guy here, where is he? Where's the big guy of the little guys? There's two little guys. There's a big little guy and a little guy. There's the big little guy. And that's the little guy. Okay. Just some teeth marks I want to get out with the rough stuff before I hit it with the finer stuff to get it at least a coat of oil on there now. And then after this, we're going to plug in the cake telly and give that a sound check. Mario, I didn't get the Trevor inlay videoed on YouTube because the stream crashed several times, so I couldn't get a decent VOD file. I'm sorry about that. Getting there. Get this higher so you guys can see a little bit better. Got to get those scratches out of there. There's a few cut marks from where I actually, sanded and shaped that cutaway. But they're almost gone. And it's going to be good enough to oil the first coat and get a good visibility on it, because that color, that light color, and with my crappy eyes, I don't see that guy too well. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. That's good enough to go. There's a bit of a mess there. I need a round file, but one that's not too. It's the little burr I've got to get rid of right on the edge of the cap. Okay, that's pretty good, almost there. Okay, we're good to go. So the body for this guy is Northern Silky Oak or Lacewood. The cap is camphor laurel and the neck is maple and padauk, 5 pieces, 2 padauk, 3 maple and a laminate. Terry, you've got the command there, or Dana, bring up the command for the bacon base. And that way guys can read. Orby, what's going on? Orby in the house. You're probably wondering why I'm scraping the hell out of this cutaway, and that's because there's a little ridge there where the router bit a little bit. I'm just leveling that out so that you can't notice it. I can't see it now, but I can still feel a bump, so I'm just flattening that bump out, and it'll be nice and slick once we get it finished. So that's looking a lot better already. I'll get some 240 on there. And as I said, I do like to round those roundovers and those horns on a base. Get them nice and smooth and rounded over. Okay, that's not too bad. Now I've got to hit the edges. Let me grab some fresh 240. Let me hit the edges, and then we can. Now, before I do that, let me show Orby. I got to show you the first coat of clear. I got to show you the first coat of wipe on poly. So we wiped on the first coat on the blue telly, and we let it pool up for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and wiped it off just to get that seal. And it's got a nice satiny coat. Let me grab it and show it to you because I know you like to look at those things. I'm going to let that sit for an hour or two before I put another coat on it. But there she is. You can see where it's drunk that. Look at that stripe in the middle. It's actually just absorbed the heck out of that. And I wiped the rest off. But you can see that that's the initial wash coat. That quilt has really popped now. And that blue, that sapphire blue is really looking good. I'll show you on this bench shot here. There you go. Not bad. She's going to look good. It's looking sweet. Yeah, it's come along. I'm thinking I'm going to build that up. I've got to get that guy. Once that seal's in, though, it's very, very grainy, though. You can just feel that. It's so heavy, the quilt, that there's so much cross grain in there. There's lots of open capillary. So a couple of coats will get that sealed in, get that starting to level, and then we can put some thicker coats and then wipe them down and start leaving some thin layers and just build on those layers. And eventually, after about 2 coats or 3, I'll start scuffing them back a bit, get 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 more on there, and a scuff in between coats being poly, and do maybe 2 to 3 coats a day. I think in about 3 or 4 days we should have enough on there to be at a stage where we could probably rub that out. You are the guy that knows how to do this stuff, but I'm just learning how to finish. But wipe on poly, I've never really used wipe on poly on a proper guitar build for someone else. I did do it on number 1. That was wipe on poly on my first telly, but definitely going to go for a nice finish. I think we're going to get a good finish on this guy. Okay, let's bring that up, put that away. Let's get back to this base. I need to sand that neck down and give this a coat of oil. And then we're going to sound check the cake Telecaster. Jamie, what's going on? Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Let's get back to this bass. we go. I'm back. I don't know what the hell goes on with my audio. It just seems to drop out. And I just reset it and it starts again. I don't know why. I'm sorry that it does that, but thank you for letting me know. Greg, you're being good. Camera cover. There we go. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And sorry, I was focused. I've got to focus on this sanding, so I don't often turn to look at the camera, the screen. So yeah, please forgive me, but we'll get there. Let me just quickly wipe this guy down. Give that a little bit of a clean. Again, this is an initial wash, so I'm not too fussed about dust getting in there. I need it to just seal up, and then we'll give it a light rub back as well before we put the final coats on. You need to give me a sound alert. I do. I've got to work that out. No worries. Look, there are no worries. We know that. And I'm glad there aren't any worries because I'd be worried. Ha! There's a massive scratch right there. Damn, I've got to sand that guy out in a minute. But let's just wipe this guy down. Give that a wash. Look at that grain. Isn't that... You can see there's a bit of flame there. It sort of pops. I can already see some scuff marks here. They go dark when you wet it. So sometimes you only see them when you actually apply the first coat of oil. But actually, the cutaway looks pretty good. Lots of grain. A few little scratches in here, but that's okay. They're fixable. This side's a bit of a mess. That's okay. We can fix that as well. Not too bad. Just a little bit. That's fine. That's pretty good. The horn's great. The cutaway's good. That looks great like that. Look at that grain. Beautiful. Yeah, it is subtle. I like the subtlety, Tom, because you want the top to take the show away. You know what I mean? That back looks really good too. Look at that combo in there. You want that you want the top to be the star of the show. But the back is beautiful in its own right, but it is subtle, as you said. No one sees the back, man. But people forget that. But it's got to be sweet. But the front's the one that's everyone's paid the tickets to see, if you know what I mean. Okay, that body's done. Let's just wipe down this neck, which is beautiful. I love this neck. This neck is really sweet. Okay. Let's get some oils on this guy, right? I've got my Danish, and away we go. 2 big scratches there. That's good. We can see them now. At least I can get rid of them. Let's pop this guy in. Very unique, that grain, isn't it? It's very different. Let that dry off for a few minutes. Let me switch over and see how we're going there. Okay, let that dry off a little bit and evaporate out. Let me catch up with the chat. I'll have a drink of water. Cheers, big ears. Mark's favourite part of the show when I get a drink and he says cheers. Cheers, Mark. Maui Lynn, what is going on? Thank you very much for the gifted sub. It's so kind of you. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. That's brilliant. Ba-ding, ba-ding. Willie won't go. Cheers, big ears. Be Bumstead, cheers, big ears. Terry, cheers, big ears. And Gatto, cheers, big ears. Great. Lots of cheers to be had. Lots of drinks to be had. That makes everybody very happy. Right. This is drying off. We can actually apply colour on there. It doesn't really matter. Let's do that. There's a little bit of Danish. There's a little bit of Danish in everyone. There's our can. Let's open that up. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do. Those knots really go dark when you get some colour on them. That's a knot there, but I'm going to leave that there. You can't really get rid of that. A little bit of sapwood. It's fine. Let's grab a little screwdriver and open her up. Lovely. A little bit of Danish. A little bit of Danish. Right. Need to give that a little swizzle. I'll grab a glove. Cowbell. Thank you, Lynn. You're amazing. Okay. Let's get some stuff going on here, eh? Don't be scared. Oh, yeah. You can see that grain. Got to get across it, across that flame, make it drink it up. Initial coats, they're really hard, especially when the wood's thirsty. You got to just hit it hard and not be worried about it too much. That's better. You can see that's they've taken to that. That's good. Keep rubbing that in. That's going to drink it up pretty quick. Just getting a look at that under the light. Yep, it sure is. Oh, look, another little dent just there. It's good though. That's how we see them. A couple little dents up here. Just going to town with this oil. It's drinking it up like nothing else. So it's important to get stuck into it. Let it have a good drink. Seal that up. Those stripes are really popping now. There we go. I've got to do that body now. Just give that a little bit of work in here. Do the back last. Don't be shy. Hit it hard with the oil. Doesn't matter if there's a drip or two, we can sand it off. We're going to sand this back anyway to get a nice, even, closed up, level finish of sorts. That grain's really popping now. You can see that grain really pop. On the edge. That's done. The neck is almost touch dry. It's drunk it up all pretty quickly. There we go. Done. There's the back. That guy. Good to go. Okay, that's done there. I'm going to hang that up now. Let that guy dry up. Give it a good few hours to just drink that up. I mean, it's going to drink it up pretty quickly, but it just stays a bit tacky. It's a little bit humid today. Not really humid, but it's not the warmest days. It's probably, shivers. It's probably okay. Let me hang this guy up. And then we'll work on the telly. Okay. There. That's a start. It's one coat. One rough coat. One rough coat. But it's good because it gets it, and you can see the colour now, and that's the final colour. It's not bad, is it? It looks nice now. It's got some warmth in it. Ha! Gatto, go get yourself some wood. Yeah. Manny used the same wood for the sides on the acoustic. They were vertical stripes, and it was amazing. Oh, yeah, I can get the acoustic and show you guys as well if you want to see that. Let me quickly put this stuff away, and then we'll get the Cake Electric out, plug that in, and see if we can get a sound check on that guy. Because I want to get it ready for the market to sell. Okay. Put that oil away. All right. Let me see what's going on here. Put this away, and I'm going to go grab my little amp, pedal board, I should say, which is my virtual amp. And we'll play some clean, and we'll play a little bit of gain. Not too much. But you'll get a really good understanding of what these Cruel Mistress pickups are like, with a little bit of compression and just a little bit of gain or volume on a normal sort of twin type amp, and you'll get a lovely sound. Let me grab that. I've got all my gear right here. I just need to plug it all in and hope it works. It's a tangled mess. I better fix it up. What tune am I whistling now, Terry? God knows. I'm dropping things. I'm smashing things. I'm doing everything wrong. Okay. Power. We need power. I'll just use the chord. This guy here might work. Let's see if that fits. No, that doesn't fit. Reach across this bench and plug this guy in here and see what it does. It might blow up the whole universe and then we're done. If it blows it up, we're in deep poo. How are we doing there? Power, power. Okay, we got power. Okay, good. Now, audio. Let's get the interface plugged in. We always need more clamps. We do. We always need more power. We do. Untangle this schmozzle and make sure we're okay. Take out the headgear and put the stuff away. Right. This goes here. And then this goes here. And I'm hoping it works. And this goes here, so I can hear myself so that I know it works. I think we're good. Let's have a listen, shall we? All right, all right, all right. Testing 1, 2. Grab the guitar. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. Clean channel first, of course. Don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that? Give me a 1 if you can hear that. Nope. Okay. I got to work this out. Hang on a sec. Desktop audio. Right. Let's go to. Aha. Okay. That's already set. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll add an input capture. And I'll make that guitar. Call it guitar. And I'll make that. Okay. And the device I will use is that guy. And I'll go okay. And let's see now. How's that, Terry? How's that, Terry? You can hear it now. Right, good. Not too loud. Pretty good, I think. Clean. Neck pickup. bridge pickup. Got that twangy feel. Clean, nice and clean. Nice resonance, nice sustain. We go up a little bit. I've got a little bit of gain there and a little bit of compression. That's about it. There's nothing really else there. There's no reverb or delay or anything like that. Bridge pickups a little bit. Woohoo! Cruel Mistress. This is why they call it the Cruel Mistress. Anyway, that's it. She sounds pretty good. Just need to do a couple of little adjustments, but she plays pretty well. Not overly hot, not high gain, but they break up really, really nicely. These Cruel Mistresses are so versatile. You can play clean, you can play twangy country, you can play heavy rock, you could play hard rock, you could play classic rock, you could play metal if you wanted to, in the right with the right pickups. The right pedals and the right amp. It's all good. It's all good. Now, it's been about an hour. I'm going to go and grab that blue thing and I'm going to give it another coat because it's good to go for another coat. And then we're going to let it sit for the rest of the day. All right, let's get going. It sounds great. Terry, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's not a bad sound. It's a meaty, chunky sound. It's this solid piece of chopping board. Yeah, this cheese board here. There's a lot of density in that girl. There's a lot of vibration transfer. She's got great sustain. All these guitars have got really good sustain. They ring really well. So you get a decent player like Matt Burrows or even Orby who can play 1,000 times better than I ever will. They'll get some good tunes out of that. Alrighty. what I need to do is turn all this crap off now so we don't overheat things. There we go. I'm still there. Am I still there? Yes, I am. Okay, what I'm going to do is put this crap away. I'm going to grab that blue thing and see if we can put another coat on there. We can put another coat on an hour later, the initial coat, because it's drunk it up and it's really soaked in and drunk it all. So we need to get that out here and give it another wipe and another wipe on and another wipe off. Fanlicious, Maui Lynn. It's fanlicious. That means it's fantastically delicious. Fandelicious. There's your new word. Ha! Silly boy. I make up crap like that all the time. My kids look at me and go, what's he talking about? Silly old man. They go, he's lost his marbles. Let me get that blue thing. Blue thing, where are you? Ba-doing, ba-doing. Schmicko. Full of glamour, as they say. Ha! Schmicko is a good word. Everything's schmick. Okay, we've got this beautiful blue bird, beautiful blue girl. We're going to put another coat on this girl. She's dry. Dry as a bone. I'm going to rub that back. I'm just going to soak that in and then let it sit for 4 minutes, wipe it off, leave it nice and thin, and then put her away for 3 or 4 hours. And by then it'll be probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I can probably get away with one more coat now that it's daylight savings and it's warmed up. But I won't rush it, of course. Let's get that colour on there. Fandelicious. That's the one, Maui Lynn. That's now your word. That is Lynn's word now. No one uses it. Copyright Lynn. Ha! Okay. Gloves again. Get our gloves. Get our gloves. Here they are. This won't hurt me a bit. And again, now that we've locked that in there, we just drizzle a little bit over there and we wipe it in across the green. Get this dry area in here where all this flame is. Get that to suck it in. Look at those beautiful leopard spots down there. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like water. Does it not look like water, like a pool? It looks like a rock pool in a atoll somewhere, like Blue Lagoon. Just tell me Christopher Atkins and what's her name aren't in there. Just tell me they're not, and I'll be happy. Grab a rag, nice clean rag required. We'll get this guy, we'll chop him up. It's a bit wet, I'll get a clean, fresh one. There we go. There we go. Old t-shirts, old bed sheets, they're the best for doing this sort of stuff. No, she has no idea, Mario. It's a complete surprise for her birthday in November. So this will be finished in about 2 or 3 weeks. I'll box it up. I've got a beautiful case for it. I'm going to show you guys the case on Thursday when I'm back. I'm away tomorrow because I've got to go to a funeral and taking the day off. But to do that, it's out of town. But when I'm back, I will show you the beautiful case that I've got for her. It's a really slick, beautiful brown leather with lots of stamped imagery on it. It's really cool. Thank you very much, Terry. That is a brilliant command. She's going to love it. Oh, yeah, I reckon she's going to love it. Blue's her favorite color as well. And she's going to definitely love it. Let's get going on this guy. Let me just do this so I don't. Let me just quickly do this. I'm going to grab some tape. And I'm just going to pop some tape down here because I don't want any drips in that big cavity there. That little drop went in there earlier on. I'm going to have to clean that up. But I want I just leave that guy in there like so. Just in a big area where you will see a spot if it does fall in there. That's fine. I'm just going to protect that guy. Let's pour some on here. Go crazy liberal with it. Just make sure it drinks it up, gets in there, and then we'll wipe it off after 4 minutes. Go across that grain, make sure it drinks it up. Then go with the grain, brush it out. Make sure there's no big dollops anywhere. Just even that out. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit for a while. Wow, it's still dry in that middle section. It's really drinking it up. Let that sit for a while, and I'm going to wipe that off after 4 minutes. The time is now 12:36. It was exactly an hour ago. So 37, just turned 37. So 4 minutes. 12:41, we'll get that wiped off. So that's going to leave that in there, let that drink it up. And we're going to give that a solid wipe, just a gentle wipe off all the excess. What else, guys and girls? What else have we got? We've got pickups on the way. They should be here either today or tomorrow. So we've got pickups for the left-handed Odin. We've got pickups for the bass. I've already got pickups for this guy, so we're good there. This is going to be fantastic. Let me put this oil away, or this stuff away, I should say. Let me just wipe that down. Just go away. What I'll do after this coat is, when that dries, before I apply the next coat, I will take the tape off the ends and quickly give the ends a little rub and wipe it down and give the coat the edges and the back a coat before I do a third coat on the top. Let's rip off a little bit of thing. Where are we at? 12:38. 3 minutes to go. And then we wipe it off. Starting to drink that up. I like to roll it up like a long little hot dog and just wipe it like a roller. I don't roll it, but I just use the length to get an even band. So just roll it up reasonably tightly. Keep the any frayed bits along and just use it like that. And just stroke that down. Productive day. Mario, we did a little bit. We're getting to the business end, right? So we're starting to get a little bit of stuff. 12:39, 2 minutes, guys. This is starting to drink it up. and it needs to be wiped off very, very soon. You'll see that it is still very dry and not taking. I mean, it's slower. It is taking it, but it's still very thirsty in that cross hatch. You'll see it in a minute. But it's been a productive day, as you say, Muzz. Absolutely. It is. It's decree only for you. It is. It's only for Mary Lynn. She can only use it. I can mention it, but it's her word. Fandelicious. And thank you very much for the gifted sub earlier on too, Lynn. You are awesome. That's why you got a word, because you earned that word. You're always a good supporter of the stream, and we appreciate it. 12:40, guys and girls. We're going to wipe this off right about now. So let's just quickly flick over, and once that ticks over to 41, I'm going to wipe this girl. Look at that color. What do you think, guys? Looks pretty good. You can see how it's drunk, most of it in the middle. There's still a little bit of dryness, but it's not as, there's no big band. Before there was a nice big wide GT stripe down the middle there. Now it's a little bit wetter. So we've sealed off some of those. We've sealed off some of those areas. You can see there's only patches, but there's still a few little deep open pores. We like it. We like it a lot. Yes, indeed. And it's 12:41. Let's wipe this off. So gently. Try and leave no streak marks. There's a little bit of color coming off. That's expected. A little bit of color, but it's not too much of a big deal. Here we go. In the bin. And now we leave that guy alone. We've got to leave that alone now for the rest of the day. I think there's the, you can see it's starting to get a nice shine. 2 coats in. Beautiful blue. Lots of flame showing there. Lots of little quilt ripples, spots, whatever you call it. You can see the band isn't as wide anymore. It's shiny through the middle. We've wiped that in now, and it's not too dry through the middle. It's almost the same consistency as the rest of the body. So we're going to put that guy away. And we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there, man. It's a lot better than last wipe an hour ago, isn't it, Tom? There's still a couple of little, see those little dry patches just below the bridge holes there? Just a couple, just right there. There's a couple of little dry patches right down at the tail. But that's just because there's big, chunky, curly grain there, and it's just drinking it all up. But once they seal up, we're going to rub that, give that a light rub, and with a little bit of paper, not sandpaper, a little bit of brown paper, like a brown paper bag. Just take any raised grain off, and then we're going to apply more color. Look at that shape. Isn't that beautiful? And with the white, it's going to be so lovely. Let's get the neck and just compare. I'll grab that neck quickly and just fit that on there for you to show you what it's going to look like, because that neck's finished. And if you haven't seen the neck, let's have a quick look at the neck, because this neck is almost pretty much ready to sign the name on there. That's got 3 coats of True Oil on there. I'll show you on this camera. So there's our 3 coats on that. That's pretty shiny. Let's see if I can show you the shine on that guy. You can probably see it shining there. Maybe not. Needs a rub. Feels pretty glassy. But look at the color. Look at the color combo. Isn't that beautiful? With this little colored guy here. That color combination is really cool. And the back, of course, really beautiful. And that little guy there pops against that blue really nicely as well. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Willie. It is pretty nice. I do want to sign my name on this guy before I put one more coat on there, but it's a bit dry. I might put another coat on here now. So I'm going to just quickly give this one more coat on the face so I can sign that guy tomorrow. So I'll put this guy away quickly. You can see that guy there starting to really get going. All right. I'm going to grab a little bit of paper here. I'm going to sand this little guy just slightly with some 600. Very, very slightly, just a little scuff. It's got 3 coats on it. I'm going to put one more coat on it to give it a really glassy finish so I can really sign my name nicely there. That's really cool. That back's pretty much done. We can burnish that with a rag. It's like buffing it. A bit of denim would be ideal because it's got a little bit of texture. And you can see that shiny guy there. There we go. 3 coats. Not bad, hey? Feels slick, smooth as a baby's bottom. It's really nice and smooth. That's that guy there. And the front is, just give that a wipe. We'll get another little coat of oil on that. And that way we finish with that front and we can sign that tomorrow. And then put a top coat to protect the signature and we're good to go. Willie, her face is going to light up. She's a beautiful little kid. Love her to bits. She's awesome. And I hope it makes her day. Absolutely. She's my little niece. And my little goddaughter as well. She's my only niece. And she's my only niece or nephew. I only got one little one. Thin coats is the key here. Just build it up slowly. Thin coats, you can see that's nice and shiny now. A nice satin finish. It's a nice thin coat.
Mom, somebody just followed me.
Ever Cookie, what is going on? Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Get your butt in here and say hello. Nice of you to join us. Thank you for coming in. My name's Manny. This is the Guitar Show in Sydney. And we build custom boutique thingy bobs. And I'm just applying a little bit of true oil to this stock. This neck's pretty much finished. It's a Telecaster, of course, with an ocean theme. We've got sassafras for the neck, spotted gum for the fretboard, and we've got a beautiful little abalone shell arrangement, a little turtle guy, and some blue dots, abalone dots, and that's ready to go now. Whisper when you say it, absolutely. All right, let's throw that away. I've used a lot of rags up, but that's why I buy them by the bucket load, because they're and I use old T-shirts and stuff too that I no longer wear because they're either too big for me because I was a lot bigger a while ago and I've lost a lot of weight, which is good for me. Trevor, is that his name? Trev. Good old Trev. There he is. Trev the turtle. And that neck is probably, oh man, it's a slick neck. It's really quick. It's really fast. It's going to be so fast. Not that she plays fast, but you never know when she gets older. She'll be able to play Blackbird on it really well. Get those fingers moving. That's a nice neck. I'm going to hang that up. And actually, I'll just let it sit for a while like that, flat. It's always a good way to do it. And I'm going to just see who's on because I'm pretty much done, guys and girls, except I don't have my phone. Do I have my phone? No, I don't. Let's quickly bring up, 1 second, I'll bring up the interwebs. And I'm going to see who's on, and maybe Maddie Burrows is on, or maybe someone else is on. And we can raid them, because I know it's early for you guys now, because I've gone into daylight savings. Whatever that means. Now, I'm just going to wait and see what's going on there. Goodbye, God bless, and wabba, wabba, wabba. Absolutely, Willie. What's going on here? Let's have a look. Nope. Okay. That's not a good idea. It's okay, Dana. Don't sweat it, dear. You can go back and watch the VOD. I'm going to close this window because, oh, hang on. Is it back? I'm just waiting for my interwebs to come up. Everything's running on my laptop, so it's not the fastest machine in the world, so bear with me. Leslie, what's going on? Sorry, dear. I'm just about to finish up. This daylight savings is really going to annoy you because I start an hour earlier relative to you. Yes, you will see me in a couple of days. I'm away tomorrow, guys and girls. So let me just see if I can. I'm still waiting for Twitch to come up. This is ridiculous. What is going on? I want to see who's on so I can raid them. No worries, Dana. Yeah, you have, Leslie. Look, it's okay. The Gatto, no problems, man. No, this isn't going to work. Come on. Who's on? Is anyone on that we know, Terry? Marky Mark in the house still. Is Marky Mark streaming? Let's go to Mark's house. Mark, turn on your computer and start streaming so I can raid you. Ha. There, the notification should be working. It's probably just the time difference thing. Mind you, you should get notified when I go on stream, right? Okay, this is not responding, so I'm going to kill this. Kill it dead, and I'm going to just take off. That's what I'm going to do. All right, guys and girls, be good. I'll see you in a couple of days. This is Manny from the Guitar Show in Sydney. Take care of yourselves. Look after one another and also yourself. Don't forget to do that. Look in the mirror and say, I look after that person there. And I'll see you in a couple of days. So I'll have a good one. Bye for now. Right, here we go.